Wrong way.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's live SEO Q&A session with me and Mr. Chris Palmer, sponsored by the news guy, Mr. Randy Rodet. The link is below if you're wanting a PR campaign done for you. He can sort you out. He does an amazing work. So do check out Randy using the link below. But more importantly, we are here to answer your questions today. So if you've got questions or if you're just listening in, let us know where in the world you're listening in from. And if you've got any questions that do need answered, then please do put them in the chat. We will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. But other than that, Chris, what is going on? What is new?
Well, been working on a, like sell my house fast site. That's been a real pain in my banana. Other than that, just trying to get better at service. Started answering a lot of the service myself, even though I know it's a bad idea and it's bad for my headspace, but I just want a clear understanding. I think 30 days is good to take in all the support, figure out, where the deficits are. So taking in support issues, working on websites, trying to do better at service. I built up like a little, like a testing blog. So I've been working on some stuff for myself. That's all. Just that. How about you? Just that.
Nothing new. I've just, like we discussed before, sorting out my travel plans for the next few months, just making sure that I've got flights and hotels and plans in place, because these things come up very quick and fast. So yeah, just sorting out the future, the months ahead, with some plans rather than doing it at the last minute, which I normally always do. I can't be fucking bothered with that. I just want to go and I need it to be easy, simple, plain, stress-free. So that's the plan. So I've just been sorting out all that kind of shit and sorting out some other administrative duties, which is a pain in the tits when it comes to business. But sometimes you just need to knuckle down and sort that shit out before it gets out of control, shall we say.
1000%. Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me about that. I always wait till the end, though. It makes it more fun, kind of.
So we go to these events, right? I don't know if you're the same, but I always book the tickets, like to the travel last minute. I always make my slides very fucking last minute. You know what? It's fucking quite stressful when you're going and you're traveling and someone's fucking niggling in your inbox. Where's the fucking slides and stuff like that, man? Does everyone do that, or is it just me?
Everyone's asking for the slides. As far as waiting to the last moment, this particular event, the day I came in, like I had 2 or 3, like the beginning slides, like, hey, I'm Chris Palmer. But as far as the material, I did that last moment. Like the day before, I put all those slides together because I was really getting a feel for like, well, what's meaningful to them? What did somebody already talk about? What caught the attention? So once I knew that and I knew what was meaningful, then I put the slides together. Yeah, but I wait till the last moment on everything. Then it's like, jam it all in. It's fun. I do it too. As far as the travel, man, everything to me, even though it's a work event, it's still leisure, right? Like flying on Emirates, I'm going to eat like a king while I'm gone. I get to speak to people that are just like me. Like it's fun. So it's literally the last thing on my list. Like I'm going to take care of little work, consultation. Like I'm going to do everything before book a flight in a hotel.
Yeah.
So last moment. Yep.
Fair play. Fair play. Honey is asking how we are. We are both very well, honey. Hope all is good with your good self. And Muhammad Amar, we are here to answer any questions that you may have. So question and answers, it can be about any digital marketing related topic within reason, of course. And we will do our best to answer those questions for you. So Raj has a question. Could you please provide insight into the near me terms optimization? This will be very helpful.
Yeah, and I've tried it both ways. I've tried putting near me terms inside of the actual slug or in the URL structure. And early on, maybe 2 years ago, that was very, very helpful. And then, of course, adding it to the pages. And I actually got that from Yelp. Yelp was doing that. They had near me / right? They were doing it for bars and restaurants. It was effective 2 years ago. Now, what I quickly realized is that Google is getting a lot better at understanding the geolocation, right? Mm-hmm. So not only do we need to identify, is there a map pack? Once we identify there's a map pack, then we can optimize our page plus location with nearby and near me. It's going to be page by page, geolocation by geolocation. So that's how I do it now. Tune the page.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
Everyone's got their own opinions on it, but I think you've got to do it location by location. Just like you said, it's like cover them all, man. Cover every fucking thing.
Yeah, I'm not going to go stuffing nearby or near me into a page though if it's not thrown in a map pack.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of business owners that have location pages. It's not a local based SERP, you know. Yeah. Let's identify a local based SERP, then let's capture that term, you know, along with all the others. Yep. Why? What else could there be to say on that? Is there another way of doing these things?
Nah, but people do. You know, my point to that is a lot of people make out like they're doing a hell of a lot more than that.
True.
And it's not. It's the same with anything in SEO. Just do the fucking fundamentals properly. Tick the boxes that you need to tick and do the least amount of work for the biggest outcome you can possibly.
That's right. Highest impact. I will point out something because it's competition. Well, he's competition now. If you take a look at John Foy, it's a law firm website. What you'll notice is on the blogs, he's pointing, he'll have, this is just one, there's tons of sites that do this. What I've noticed is he'll have all the blogs and the location pages with near me pointing to those relevant pages. So internal link flow containing nearby and near me, and he doubles it up on the pages.
Right.
So internal link flow with the near me, that's the only tricky stuff I saw, you know?
Yeah.
Addition, add a little more.
Always. Glenart 101. Are you familiar with the Google spam update that happened from the 20th to the 27th of June? Since then, we are seeing a good increase in traffic that we cannot explain. Thank you in advance.
Well, that's when you go to the owner and say, man, look how good we're doing. You know, but we're not Google, and we don't know what Google's going to do tomorrow, right? Spam update. What do they release? 7 a day? Something like that, like different changes and alterations. Yeah. Who's to say what they're doing? How do we know they're not lying, right? So if you're being rewarded, hooray for you. But tomorrow is a new situation. So yeah, that's all I got there.
Yeah, it's no one knows the true answer to that. Unfortunately, Glenart, but like Chris says, if you're seeing a good traffic increase, take credit where it's due because you take the beating when it's not your fault as well. Yeah. So, yeah, right 100%. On.
You're going to take the beating, might as well take the praise. See, the funny thing is, though, is you won't get the praise.
Oh, you know? Yeah, you never do.
They only send the emails and the phone calls and the text if there's a slight adjustment in rank. To expand on that particular question, also too, when there's updates or changes, if you talk to 20 different SEOs or webmasters, they'll give you all different answers or reasons why. It might be hyper relevant to one another, but it's technically all different things. So take your praise and move on.
Good advice. Junaid, please tell me about the role of canonical tags in e-commerce.
See, in e-commerce, and I'm not an e-com professional, like I'm not an expert at e-com, but I know this much, right? What I do know with e-com is I have a lot of SKUs I have a lot of pages, and generally I'm going to run advertising, which means I'm going to have duplicate pages of the original product. So when I'm having duplicate pages for, say, ads, I need to tell Google that, hey, I know I'm copying myself, but this is the original. Don't penalize me. And then here's the other pages. And that's the role for e-commerce.
Yes, I fully agree with that.
Are you what do they call that? Multitasking? Emails, reading the comments.
I was reading something else. Yeah.
He's doing like 40 things. He's building a site. He's building links.
No. I was looking at something that someone emailed me. So
he's making a sandwich, throwing darts.
I am not good at multitasking. Like you've just noticed, I like zone out. Like I can only concentrate on one thing. Like, so if someone's talking to me in the office, and I'm focused on an email, I won't hear what that person's saying. Like, if I'm typing an email, I can't hear what that person's saying. I just can't fucking do two things at once.
What about when you're driving? When you're driving a vehicle, if someone says, hey, look at this, can you take your eyes off the road?
I'm not comfortable doing it.
No. Okay.
I'm not one of those guys that sit. I've been in cars with people and they'll sit and look at you and talk to you, and you're like, dude, stop fucking looking at me. Please look to the roads. Like
100%. If they say, hey, look at this, and then next thing I know, I'm over here. I'm like, whoa. Can't do two things.
Yeah. Not for me. But Sir Klopp, opinion on the web version of Money Robot. Should you still use it as tier 2 and tier 3? I am absolutely loving the web version of Money Robot. Obviously, they've integrated the AI part of it. So you can literally just go in and let AI do its thing on Money Robot, which is always a good thing to do. Now, people often ask me, do you still use this as tier 2 or tier 3? I do not categorically believe that Money Robot gives you power in terms of links. The majority of that stuff is done for indexation reasons more than power. If I want power, I'll buy guest posts. If I want relevance, I will use niche edits. Like Chris has said on many occasions, the further down the tiers, the cheaper it has to become. And obviously, Money Robot, you've got a monthly fee attached to it. But why would you use it? And I think it's obviously to retain guest posts or niche edits or whatever it is in Google's index is typically why I would use it. So just to be clear, because a lot of people say you're really fucking still using that, and you're like, yeah, but it's not. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, that's the link building strategy that's going to make you a lot of money and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't pack power. It really doesn't. So I just wanted to put that out there. But what's your thoughts on it, Chris?
Yeah, but it's very deceiving though, because it'll boost scores, right? Like third-party metric scores. But no, I agree. Is it used for tiering? It can be, but I really like it for indexation. If you can get them indexed, I didn't know there's a new version. I invested the $425 maybe, I don't know, 20 years ago, and I still have the desktop version. I didn't know there was a web version. Plus anything monthly recurring, I'm good,
So here's the thing. I didn't know there was a web version until I was teaching a friend on, Money Robot, and he wanted to know a bit about how it worked and what you would send it to. And he's like, dude, how do you embed a YouTube video in it? And I'm like, click on advanced settings. And he's like, I don't have an advanced settings button. And then he went on the live chat, and the guy's like, you'd be better using a web version and most up-to-date version. And I'm like, fucking show me a screenshot of what this looks like. And I seen the AI thing and all that. And I went straight on there, dude. And I'm like to the guy, dude, how the fuck did I get onto the fucking web version? And he transferred it.
So it's very new.
Faster, dude. Yeah, it's like literally in the past few weeks.
Oh man,
it's good,
dude.
man.
I started messing around. I have no affiliate links. I literally just was testing out the like directories, the PR. They have like one site. Well, is there different assets?
No,
That, you know?
all the same assets.
Well, what's the advantage?
So you can use AI now to create the campaign for you. So you can just literally drop the URL in and everything else will happen using AI. And it also uses AI. So you can add your OpenAI code to obviously for creating the content and stuff as well. Whereas before it was just using shitty spin tax. Yeah. So is that stuff then likely to index better? Potentially. But yeah, it's something I'm playing around with just now. So
I see. So that's the spin. The content, instead of uploading a file and then spin taxing, now I can create unique with OpenAI. But other than the content piece, same assets, same subdomain, everything else is the same except for that functionality.
Yeah.
Is that worth $67 a month?
No, you'll be able to transfer it from your old version to your new version. It's not going to cost you any extra money.
I'm gonna have to play with that.
So,
thanks, Greg.
I stupidly said this on Monday's session, and Randy Roday was sitting there, and he went on the live chat, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll transfer you. Yes, sure, I'll transfer you." Yeah, I get transferred over, but yeah, you need to speak nice. You need to schmooze them a little bit, shall we say?
I see.
Fair enough. Get on the live chat. Sorry, Nick, for another shout out. But does AI queries surpass Google queries in the near future?
Hard to say what the future holds. Who knows? Think of the advancements in the last 10 years, right? 15 years. So I have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring. Maybe. I don't know. How would I know? I have no idea.
God. But yeah, no one knows is the honest answer. Junaid, role of anchor text in local SEO, how to avoid penalty.
As far as anchor text is concerned, I mean, unless you're building hundreds of exact match and somebody points you out, the probability of your brand new website, like if you go in there and build 100 exact matches, the probability of you getting dinged is highly unlikely. Now, if magically you run up to the top of the SERP, like in my opinion, I think you only get manual actions if somebody tells. Like the chances of getting an algorithmic penalty for anchor text, highly unlikely. Now, with that being said, it would just be insane to go out there and build only exact match when a page ranks for more than one keyword, which means I need to build anchor text at more than one keyword, right? Like I need brand, I need naked, I need exact, I need variations. So with that being said, as long as you're not being, over aggressive, I think you're perfectly fine. The chances of you getting caught are highly unlikely. I'm hyper aggressive on assets that I've never shown publicly, and I've never had an issue. If I show something to someone in a public fashion, even if it's in a small public fashion, I'll get dinged every time. So that's my opinion.
Fair enough. It's always a valuable opinion. So we'll take that. This is a question for you, Chris. Is GSA SER still useful in 2024?
For the vast majority of business owners that I speak to, if they understand what they're doing, yes. Just like Money Robot, if we're tiering stuff out for indexation, to build pages, to keep pages indexed, it's another tool in the tool belt. Plus, it's so inexpensive. So there are uses for it. It's not as useful as it was 5 years ago, but there's still uses for it. Yes. But for the vast majority of people, not really, unless you know, hey, do you know what a proxy is? Do you know what GSA is? Do you know what a spinner is? Do you know how to scrape the proxies? Like, do you have the pieces? If you're just going to jump in and go use it and think you're going to win, no, that's not what it's going to do. Not at all.
Yeah, sadly not. Raj is saying, if you could provide further inputs for, say, my keyword search volume is 300K for overall target country, but I only want near me searches, what happens in the one state only? Can't I go for it?
If I have a page that's optimized around a state and you go into that specific page and I put near me, you're going to get variations of near me plus state. If I put near me or nearby into a page that's geo-modified or optimized around service plus location, and I put nearby and near me into the page, then I'm optimized for that specific geolocation. So I hope that answers the question for you. Can you go for it? Definitely. But whatever you're optimized for, the geolocation, adding near me, it's just one more term. It's usually a big one, but it's still geo-specific. I hope that helps you out. Like everyone sees like locksmith near me or whatever it is, and they think they can just put up a page locksmith near me and then win national. That's not how it works. It's very geo-specific. So hopefully that helps you.
And Fred Hunter is here. Good to see you, Fred, as always. Glenart was answering the Canonical question as well. Canonicals are very important to fashion apparel e-commerce. You don't want Google being confused by 30 different colors of the same shirt et al. So yes, very, very important point. Product variations, shoe sizes, the whole works, or 30 different colors of the same fucking thing, or black Nike trainers, size 7, size 8, size 9, size 10. You don't need the crawl budget being eaten alive by that type of thing. So be careful. But best software for on-page, Chris?
This is based on opinion. See, user interface, like some people might use, let's say, Quora and love the user interface and the results they get, right? Others might use Pop or Surfer or the other slew of tools that are out there. You know, as long as you know SEO, what you're looking for is the output of the tool as close as what I would do myself? And if the answer is yes, then it's a matter of UI. So that's what I would look for. As far as best for me, that's, you know, that might not be best for you. Yeah. I like Pop though. Pop and Core is what I use. But figure out what your optimization is. How do you count? How do you optimize a page? Does the tool do exactly what you would have done? Like exactly? And if the answer is yes, then who's got the best interface? And then I start looking at numbers. What's the price? Can I get a deal? You know, because you're hurrying up time. That's really the evolution of thought for me.
Yes. Mainly, can you get a deal is always the evolution of thought for everyone. Tool costs are insane. So yeah, always look for a better price. But guys, keep the questions coming. We're more than happy to answer whatever you've got to throw at us. So keep putting them in the chat. Also do leave a like, a comment, some abuse, whatever you want on the comments below. Not in the chat, not in the live chat. In the comments below is where the abuse goes. And do check out Randy's link as well below. But whilst we're waiting for other questions to come in, Chris, I want to ask a question.
Sure.
What is the most stupid question that you get asked on a regular basis about SEO that you could say, I am not fucking answering this anymore? I actually, I've done a few podcast recordings in the last week or two, and I've actually had to say, guys, I'm only doing a podcast if you don't ask me this, this, and this, because I'm sick and fucking tired of answering that same shit.
Well, and that's the reason. See, stupid to us, it depends on where they're at in their journey. Stupid thus because I've answered it 9 million times and I've been doing this for a decade, right? Mm-hmm. So because of the position that we've been grateful to be in, right? I try never to have that thought in my mind, even though I'm like, oh, like, geez, the 900th time. But generally it's, well, you know, the questions, you know, like, oh, you know, how do I rank? What's technical? Like just the foundation stuff that's an easy Google search away.
Yeah.
You know, you don't, if you have a specialist at a specific thing, maps or local, like I want hyper specific questions that I could really make an impact on your business.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the value of H tags, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I try not to look at it that way, even though I can hear it in the back of my head, like, again, you know?
It's hard.
Why? What do you think?
I just sometimes feel that, like you say, people will not fucking do the bare basics of a generic Google search to even hand themselves a fighting chance of getting some basic info. I very much agree with what you say. If you've got someone who's considered a specialist, ask them specialist questions. Don't waste their time with some fucking crap that that you're throwing at them. And I've actually said to some of the podcast hosts, like, I'm not prepared to come on and do basic stuff anymore. Like, it bores me. I'm just not fucking interested. I'm sorry. So yeah, just like, you can't ask me that anymore. I get asked it on every fucking podcast. Like, AI is a new thing now. How's it impacting your business? You're just like,
what AI tool is the best? Yes.
Don't fucking ask it.
I know it.
But Mohammed.
But just to expand though, one thing though,
yep.
I don't know about for yourself, but throughout your journey, regardless if it was beginner, intermediate, advanced, specialist, whatever, along the way, there's been helpers.
Yeah.
You do always remember the person, even if it was something small, like, oh, I read this. And I even remember the guy that posted it on the forum, you know, his OP name.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. You never know who you're talking to, you know? You never know who you're talking to, and you don't know what tomorrow brings. It only takes one idea. So I'm very cautious, me personally.
I'm just getting too old and cranky. That's the problem, Chris.
Well, you're Scottish, man.
Yeah.
You know?
But Mohammed, do you prefer, with the help of rank math, instant indexing, and Google Cloud API, to do fast and forced indexing of a page? Do you do that all of the time, Chris, like as a standard procedure?
No, I don't. Going to each of the pages when they're created. I mean, when I'm working, majority of the time, it's a local business owner, 50 pages, 200 pages. New pages, we're doing URL inspect, right? And then we're resubmitting the sitemap. Oftentimes, if the content's good enough, internal link flow is good enough, those pages are getting indexed. When I'm working on other ventures, right? The problem with that rank math is it's very clear and defined. If I'm going to use the indexing API, that means that I need to have a job posting or an event or a broadcast or a video within the page. See, if I'm going to be doing that, really, it's only one page that I can run the request to, right? I can run the request to the sitemap page, which will have these elements, and then I can get crawled. So I would just read the requirements. I think they're called prerequisites. I probably pronounced that wrong, but look it up, you know. Yeah. No, I don't do it every time. Man, my pronunciation of that one. You ever go to Google, type it in and say, okay, say this for me, and then get it down pat? Do you ever do that or no?
Nah, I just
come on. You won't give it up here, but I'm like, man, how can I say that? I'm always trying to expand on speech. I even try to put little Chris on. Like, man, like expand the vocabulary. Oh yeah. Teaching them like big words. Oh, you keep saying this, say it this way. Definitely, dude. Absolutely.
Fair enough. Guys, you're really slow today.
It was hot for a second there.
Yeah, it went, and then it fucking slowed right down, which is mad. But yeah, guys, give us questions. We have 30 minutes left, and we are happy to answer as much as you can throw at us, even those stupid questions that I said I don't like. Maybe I've scared people off with that comment, Chris. Don't ask me this. Don't ask me that. Nah, it's typically on podcasts and stuff where I get cranky about it. I'm just like, I'm not answering that. If you want more out of me, do some more research and try and get the best out of me. But on here, always happy to help people. But because I done something I shouldn't have yesterday. I get swallowed up by AppSumo, FOMO, and I've heard a lot of guys talking about URL Monitor, which is an indexing tool that was on AppSumo that everyone's cranking on about. And I went and bought another tool, which is the exact same name, but it's not the indexing fucking tool. Anyway, I got sucked in and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to have a go on this. Stacked up, five licenses, and it wasn't even the right software. But
all in.
Everyone is going on about indexing, and there's tools popping out all over the place when it comes to indexing. Now, we both know over the years, indexing tools worked, then they didn't work. They were less effective. We, tried out Sinbite because that was the only one that was working at one point. What the fuck's changed? Why are so many coming out now? Like, what the fuck has changed in order for that to all of these now to be effective? Or can they even all be effective?
Well, are they effective? And then two, anyone that's spent any period of time, it's never the initial indexation. It's keeping things indexed or in the search results, right? Mm-hmm. I also think that with the advancement, like as time is progressing, people are realizing that, at least the people I talk to, like if I can get something crawled, especially if it's a link on a tier, if I can get it initially crawled, I'm still getting value to whatever I'm pointing to, even if it's not in search results. So I think for tiering links, there's value there. Plus people are just, in my opinion, hungry. Mm-hmm. There's an opportunity. Plus almost everyone is willing to try something once. Yeah. Right. So I think that's, quick, fast opportunities. Plus the ill-informed, like, hey, let's get indexing, Yeah. But for me, why? What do you think about it?
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to try and test them all out, but I think in the past where I've had to try and force index stuff, Sinbite and everything else has been good enough to me. But it's one of those things I can't be asked going to push it all the time. You're just like, nah, it will happen naturally, unless I need to quicken the process. So I'm not going to go out and try them all out. I was going to try that URL Monitor because everyone kept banging on about it, but it's how effective are they is the big question.
Well, I'm curious of this because I've also seen the rush, and I know how to get things indexed. I thought to myself, the thing that I don't like about indexing services, that's always my angle, right? Like, how can I do it cheaper and a little bit better? The thing I don't like about indexing service is it's usually a plan. And yes, it might initially get indexed, but they don't guarantee it for a certain period of time. Mm-hmm. And even if it doesn't index, I still have to pay whatever it is, 3 pennies, a penny, right? Yeah. Do you think there's an opportunity if you guaranteed the indexation rate at 2 weeks and you're only going to pay for the stuff that's indexed? And then the last question, so 3 in 1, is do you think that it's worth $4 a link? Guarantee it for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't index, like search results index, you don't pay.
Yeah. I think for £4, for $4.
4 cents a unit.
Yeah.
$4 per 100.
Yeah, that would work for me. But everyone's different. Everyone values these things differently. But what do the audience think? It's what you perceive to be value for money for that particular service. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what's the going rate? I see some people doing 12 cents, 5 cents, like this monitor tool. It's an indexation tool.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an indexation tool. How many unlimited? Does it also track the link?
Let me just double check. URL monitor.
And is this your tool?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough.
No. I would tell you if it was mine.
Yeah.
URL monitor. So they don't have it in AppSumo anymore. So the starter package, you can submit up to 400 pages a day. Daily index monitoring, but it doesn't really tell you anything about guarantees or how long. Bulk indexing, automatic indexing, manually add pages. Nah, there's nothing on there.
41 reviews. Oh, it was up and sold right out. Wow.
Everyone fucking bounced on it, man.
Well, and I remember when we were trying to run tools through there is a minimum requirement as far as coupons. Like that was probably like 2,000 units.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's bananas. So there's a lot of people out there. So in the next month, we'll have every review imaginable.
Yeah.
Like we'll know for sure pretty soon. What I found with indexing services, the best are always on very shady sites that you've never heard of.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that work.
Dude, Synbite was the shadiest looking website you've ever fucking seen in your life.
The best, though. It was.
It was a real piece of... I'm not going to say what I really think, but yeah, it was not a good looking website. So,
Nope.
But it worked. So that's all we really care about. It worked a fucking charm. So
inexpensive. Yep.
Yeah.
Cheap. Yeah.
Long live Synbite.
What happened here? We're just at a standstill?
Yeah. What the fuck is happening? Oh shit. I know what it might be. The schools went back today in the UK. That is it.
So very busy.
Higher than normal. Yeah, people are probably just like fucked. Because my little guy, he's been staying up late through the summer holidays.
1,000,000%. Yes.
And trying to get him into bed last night was not fun.
A lot of fun. How long were you letting him stay up till? Like normal is probably like 8 p.m. Like were you giving him till like 11, 12? Whenever you want.
It's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so I don't feel bad then. I was letting little Chris rock out. Like it's summer. He has like his little chores. Like, did you do your chores? Did you do your sight words? Did you do your math? I don't care what you do. Enjoy. Yeah. But you only get an hour of YouTube. You know? No tension relieving, only goal achieving. And then you can go online as long as you want.
Yeah.
Some
good rules there. Can't say that I stick to the same ones. We YouTube is the pain point, man, as you know.
There's something about those eyes. He can extract almost anything out of me. Like I oftentimes cave in. There's no question.
Yeah.
But I see Jose's got some questions, I think, or Mohammed there.
Mohammed has. So Google search Google Search Console errors are updated late after fixing them. How to guide or handle client about those results that are not updated on Google Search Console.
So if it's a client, right, that you're working in their business and dollars have been exchanged, they trust you. The truth is the truth. That hasn't updated, right? You either executed on the promise or you didn't, right, Mohammed? Like, you know what you did, and you know that it's just this time. Talk to your client. That's how you handle it. Yeah. What I found is like the rigmarole doesn't work, right? I would just be very, very upfront. Now, if it starts getting to be an excruciating amount of time, I would start looking at it. But other than that, I would just let them know or let her know.
Yeah. I don't think you've got anything to hide there. Just tell them what you've done, and it takes time, and that's it. Move on to the next task.
What else can you do?
But Jose is saying, have you used or tested Search Atlas?
I believe a year ago, the gentleman, I can't remember his first name. It starts with an M.
Manic.
Very nice guy. Met him and his wife. Great. They're awesome. But that was a year ago. At that present time, they were still building, and there was a lot going on. So you can't be the best at everything. So at that current time, I think it was a year and a half ago, as they were still growing, it wasn't for me. But I've been seeing some advancements. A lot more people are buzzing about it. So maybe worth taking a look. But I haven't in a year plus since Unfiltered.
Yeah. I think I've been in that situation, Chris, where I've looked at something at the beginning of its build and I've instantly just been like, not for me. And I've been ignorant enough to do that and then went back potentially years later and went, what a fucking idiot you are. But I'm hearing that the name Search Atlas keeps cropping up. Everywhere I look now, I keep seeing it being mentioned. So it seems as if it's I mean, I've not even tested it, but you know, from based on what you're saying, Chris, it would seem that it potentially has had massive advancements. So it could be worth a look.
Yep, they got a lot going on. It does a lot of stuff though, and it's not. You guys know I'm frugal, right? So the price is a little high, but it does do a lot of things. So, Jose, let me know how it works.
Let me know, should he be using it for himself or not? That is the main thing. An old but gold tool, SEO Power Suite. What's your thoughts on it, Chris?
Excellent tool. Last year, I think, or the year before, they did a like a limited deal, and I got in. So I really like SEO Power Suite. They have a tracker. They have all types of tools. They have like a pretty cool audit tool. The tracker is what I was interested in. Because why is this? Why is tracking keywords so expensive? When API calls are tenths of a penny, I don't understand it. That's why I got it. You know,
I don't know. Obviously, they always say the cost of such data is expensive, but like you say, is it really that expensive for what you do? But it's a hard one, man. It's a fucking hard one.
I'm so mad. Remember that tool probably 2 years ago, Wincher?
Yeah.
Man, they have, at that time, I think I was using, what's the one that Mark uses? SERP. It has a really cool export as like a report. SE ranking, I think.
Yeah.
At that time, I was already locked in with SE ranking. Like I was doing like I was meeting with them. Like I was locked in with SE ranking. Wincher, I think, came. And they were doing maps, they were doing the tracking, and it was so inexpensive. I wish I would have jumped ship. Dang it. Do you know any cheap rank tracking tools?
Cheap and rank tracking don't go together.
Yes.
No, cheap. You know, here's the thing, Chris. You know, I've done a lot of work with SEMrush in the past. The cost is for the volume of data, the service, the resource that goes on to give you more accurate data. And I just think cheap does mean that the data is not there. It can't be there. It's just impossible for it to be there. You know, I've been fortunate to be in the company of Tim from Ahrefs and stuff. And again, these conversations have come up around the table. You know, why is this that price, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And it does come down to the cost of data. And these guys are always fighting to have the best data, the most data. And I know SEMrush several years ago invested heavily in servers and resources to cope with the amount of data that they were buying. Which in turn, when you're using the tool, when you're doing, you know, collecting the data or looking at it, the price and everything reflects what they have to put out for it. So that's why I just think it's just, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody should make one of those though.
Yeah.
Like, can we track, let's say 100,000 keywords for $25? That would be a deal. Now that would sell out.
Yeah.
I can dream.
Make it, Chris. You make it.
I can't do it that cheap. No.
Eh.
See, and then two, people want that geo-specific data, and I can run geo queries for free, right? Yeah. But then the tracking, then the reporting, I can't do it that cheap.
Yeah. That sucks. That sucks. But Business Growth Ready says the schools in England go back in the first week in September. When do the American schools go back, Chris? It's round about now as well, right? Or next week?
Little Chris, he's in Catholic school, so he goes back in 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks.
Like 10 more days.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was just curious. But Raj says, I need to optimize my page for state level and put the near me terms wherever preferred and include all city level pages, as you said in your YouTube channel, Chris. Sir, thank you. Very helpful. So what he was actually just saying, he understood what was being suggested. So
yes, state or city pages that you're talking about service plus a location. We also add the words inside the body text, maybe even a header, including nearby and near me. Very simple. Yes, sir.
Just a little thing for Mohammed Junaid. Try to give or try to be more specific with your questioning. Keyword clustering or keyword mapping tips, please. Like, we can obviously answer that, but does that really answer what you're asking? Is no, it's kind of generic question. If you want to get the best results or the best information, be very specific. Do you understand keyword clustering? Do you understand keyword mapping? What do you think they are? Where are you struggling? What is the problem? Is it you don't know what tools to use? You can't be bothered doing it? These kind of questions, you'll get better information if you can ask questions in that manner. And we'll do our best to answer them, mate. But what is the best way to look for a good accountant to start up a business in the UK? Asks Oversteer Music.
That's an interesting question. I'm not from the UK, but what I would know is, who do you know and trust that is turning over more than $250,000 a year, or whatever dollar amount is fair to you, and then who do they trust? So who's a friend? Who do you trust that's actually bringing in a decent wage, and who are they using? That's what I would do. How about you, Craig?
I think over the years, as someone who has started a business in the UK, one big thing I've had is the wrong accountant to help me with several of my early businesses. I've jumped in because I didn't know what I was looking for. I didn't know what I was asking for. And I think what you say, Chris, in terms of who do you know that's making money and who do they know or trust? And I think that's something I eventually got to, because when you start in business, you might not even have friends who have businesses, but as you start, you've got friends who have businesses, and you can talk to them and say, who are you using? And I know certain business owners who I'm trying to think of the best way to say this, know how to push the boundaries. Let's say they're not doing anything illegal, but they know how to push the boundaries, and whoever they're dealing with is the person that I want to be dealing with, because I've had too many of the accountants that literally, get you, doing the bare basics in terms of, I don't want to say tax evasion, tax avoidance, tax minimization, call it what you like. But, I think accountants are not forthcoming with a lot of the information a lot of the time. So I think you have to lean on other people who have probably been like myself, burnt through 3, 4, 5 different accountants before you go, fuck, that guy was a prick, and that guy was a prick, and that guy was a prick, and now we're getting to what we need. And that is something obviously only people with experience in business would be able to advise you on. But the laws and the regulations and everything from country to country are very, very different as well. Business Growth Ready has said try SL Accountancy Services, which I have never used, but Business Growth Ready is someone I've met in person and someone who's been a what do you call it? A person who's engaged in the question and answer sessions for many years. And if he says they're good, then they potentially are worth a try. So go check them out, because he does have a business as well. And these are the kind of guys you need to be talking to. Like Chris says, just lean on other people and see what they're up to.
And you gave up a key piece of information. Have they gone through more than one? Because I've met business owners and they're like, oh, I had this accountant forever, just one. So they've never, tasted different services. So have they been through multiple people? Do they know exactly what they're looking for? Are they actually turning over dollars? Do you trust them? Do they trust the accountant? These are the things I'd be looking for. Yeah, for sure. And then two, a conversation, a face-to-face conversation will quickly unravel if they're willing to help you minimize tax burden, for sure.
Minimize was the word I was looking for, Chris. Minimize. Couldn't get the word out. But Mohammed hasn't come back with anything. But have we got any basic tips for keyword clustering or keyword mapping, Chris? What would you advise on that?
See, because what you're currently working on isn't flourishing as fast as your brain wants it to. Your brain runs faster than time, right? So then we start looking for more angles. Oftentimes, when I talk to business owners, if you focus your attention on high commercial intent primary services that you actually do and answer the most relevant questions, we can then slowly but surely start to get the traffic and the sales that we're looking for. What I've noticed for keyword clustering or mapping keywords and is generally for much larger sites. But what you'll notice is if you go and look at those types of sites where they hit every keyword, what they've optimized for is not what that page is actually getting traffic for. Like they just create a bunch of pages and then, it's 3,400 words. And then one of those words actually shows up and they get traffic for it. Depending on your business, is this even what's required? Should you just be allocating more times to proper backlink building, proper on-page, proper internal linking, technical? Like, do I need to go build out all this content? I don't know your business, but that would be the first step. As far as tips, is this even what I should be doing? So hopefully that helps you.
Yeah. I don't think there's much else I can really add to that, Chris.
It's a very broad question.
Yeah, it's broad, and I think when you give a broad question, you always get a broad answer back. Which
he got two buzzwords, combined them together, and said, "Yo, what do you think about this?" But two, you've seen the sites that tout these types of tactics at scale, and then you go and look at the site. Yeah, it's doing numbers. It's getting crazy traffic for the weirdest keywords you've ever seen. Like they weren't going for that keyword. Come on. Anybody could hit if you go build 60,000 pages that are 4,500 words and properly internally link and build backlinks. Little Chris could hit if he did that. So that's interesting. These are just my opinion.
Out of curiosity, do you get Little Chris involved in any of this stuff?
As far as SEO is concerned?
Yeah.
Not at a deep level. He's 6, So the attention to detail, like the requirement of time and dedication in order to actually learn and have any value, it's just not there.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of that, the hunger piece isn't there. He hasn't been able to equate dollars to skill yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think once that turns on, I don't think it's going to be SEO because that's what dad's doing. Like, I'm sure there'll be a million other things.
Yeah.
You know, but once he understands that the amount of dollars that you have and your life comfort is drastically dependent upon what you know and who you can help.
Yeah.
Once that clicks, I think he'll be ultra focused.
Yeah.
You know, like, you want to eat steak or you want cheeseburgers? It's up to you, man. You want steak? Go learn. Yep.
Yeah. Honey has asked, and it's a very specific question, how to rank a one-page local website. One page.
Well, honey, thanks for that question. I actually think you asked that one time before. First and foremost, we need to determine, am I going to be rewarded with a one-page website? Is this what Google's rewarding? You know, sometimes maybe like if it's plumbing, emergency plumbing, drain, toilet, I'm just saying stuff off the top of my head. Like, is there a magnitude of services that I can combine in one page and I can rank for? Like, will I be rewarded? Is this the best strategy? Most of the time it's not. So as far as how to rank a one-page local website, first is Google rewarding it? That's step number one. Once we know that Google's rewarding it, then we can easily figure out, okay, what's the word count? Okay, what's the optimization level? Okay, how many headers? How many images? Like, go through the process. What's the anchor text, right? You know the process. So I hope that helps you out.
Yes, honey. But yeah, I thought I heard that. I think it was last week we got asked that question. And
One-pagers.
One-page websites typically don't do that well. And when it comes to local, 9 out of 10 times you're going to have local landing pages for each and every service area and location. So one-page websites really don't cut it if you're wanting to do it properly. Unless you're in some fucking bizarre niche in some bizarre country. Happy days. But
website, one piece to add, websites and web pages are kind of like, did you ever see that? I don't know if it's a meme or from a movie, like Sell Me This Pen.
Yeah.
Before you can sell anything, like, websites are just like this, right? Like, before I know I could sell it, first, are you in the market for a pen? Like, do you even want to buy this? The same with a web page. Like, is Google going to reward this? Is this what they're looking for? Then I would execute.
Yeah.
But Business Growth Ready says child labor laws.
Yeah. Don't know if they have them out with Christie's. But you've got to get the young ones learning fast, or quicker than we learned, just to give them a head start in life.
Well, and as I've grown and I'm technically an old man to Chris, right? What I quickly realized, though, is the individual skills. Yes, this can make a great income, right? Like, knowing the individual skills, knowing each of these tasks. But what I think is much more valuable is team building, right? Understanding the hiring process, training materials, like the team building, like that aspect of it, the business side of it.
Yeah.
I wish I would have knew what I knew now. I would have focused on that instead of figuring out, oh, how do you count heading tags? Nah, you go and buy the person that is the best at counting heading tags and put them in position. And then how can we all work together in order to service as many people as possible? The person that can do that, that's the guy. I wish I would have knew that now. Oh, like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Sheesh. Oh, well, can't win them all.
You can't win them all, mate. You can't win them all.
Can't win them all. This was a slow day, though. I could see the pain in your face, Craig.
Yeah. I like them fast, sharper. It just makes it go in fast. But yeah, sometimes we get a weird ass day. School's back, whatever it may be. It's also really fucking warm here in the UK.
It's warm here.
So that could also have a factor. But we did get there in the end, which is the main thing. But before we do wrap up, do check out Randy. The link is below for PR. Do check out chrispalmer.org. That is still the new website, right?
Oh, yeah.
I do this all the time. Chris has that many fucking websites and has had many domains. No one knows what his fucking current website is, but I think it's chrispalmer.org. Or check him out on YouTube. Just search for Chris Palmer SEO. Yeah, we'll be back at the same time next week, and hopefully your questions come thick and fast.
I hope so.
See you later, everyone.
See you in the next one. Thank you, Craig.